Bookstuda! Hello, it's Sandy. Today I am doing a different kind of video because I just had a very nostalgic experience in watching the very first episode of the new Fruits Basket anime. I watched the subbed version, so it's in Japanese. The original series, when I watched it, I only watched it in English. So here's the final box of the original series, which came out like when I was 15 or something. My friend Sarah and I were very obsessed with the show. We had almost all of the episodes memorized verbatim in English. And so, especially watching this first episode, which of the original I've probably seen around 25 times, I was hearing the English in my head as they were saying the Japanese lines, which were really similar but a little different. So I wanted to film a video just because it was a really weird nostalgic feeling and I really enjoyed it. If you've never seen an episode of Fruits Basket, I'm a giant fan of Fruits Basket, of the original series, of the manga. I have most of the volumes and all of the original series, wherein this girl, Toru, is a bit of an airhead and she loses both of her parents and decides that she can make it till graduation by living in a tent. Turns out she's living on these guys' lawn, and they find her, well, he finds her, that's Yuki, and he invites her to live with him and his cousin and his other cousin, because she's living in a tent in the woods. So, at the end of the very first episode, she has worked herself to such an exhaustion that she literally collapses with a fever, and so they tell her, basically, you're moving in with us, we're taking care of you. Had some thoughts as I was going. The show has a much darker tone this time around. It's so, and maybe it's because I'm older, but I think the show is actually, it's expecting the audience to be a mix of brand new people to the show and fans of the original, and so they wanted to make a show that could be watched by teenagers and adults, and would give something to original fans, like give little hints back to the original series, as well as just making something new. It has a really deeper tone, like it's so much darker than the original series, or maybe I'm just more attuned to it because I've had a lot of, I've learned a lot about depression and how that affects a person that I didn't know when I watched it the first time around. So I'm watching it as someone who's gone through mental health issues, and watching Toru in the first episode, she's trying so hard to keep everything together and she just can't. She's living in a tent in the woods because she has nowhere else to go, even though people have offered to help her. Her friends have offered to take her in, but instead of accepting that offer of help, she pushes them away and thinks she can handle it on her own. So I was just going, girl, get therapy, the whole time. As an adult, I'm watching this and seeing that she is grieving. Toru's grieving for her mother, whom she lost in an accident not very long ago. And Toru is also blaming herself, which the original series they hinted at that and they did have it deliberately there, but it was also a lot less, the show had a much lighter tone then. There were a lot more of the typical anime, like emoticon type things, you know, in anime, a normal thing to express a character is angry is they get like a hashtag symbol in their forehead. There's a lot less of that, a lot less of the kooky stuff that was in the original show. And I like that it's not trying to be exactly the same. I like that it's taking the tale darker, because the manga is a lot darker, and this show is supposed to be closer to the manga, much like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was, even though I haven't seen that yet. What? Oh, my husband is holding my camera and he is just giving me this shade. Okay. Also, I think the story this anime can afford to be darker because when the original series came out, only volume 6, I think, of the manga had at least come out in English, and that is where the original series kind of ends, with the events of volume 6. However, there's like 23 or 4 volumes of manga total, and now those have been out for years, and this series is going to follow the manga's trajectory. So, and the manga gets really dark after, I don't know, book 6. So the first series only got dark in the last 3 episodes. I'm expecting a much darker tone throughout this entire show. It's already dropped a lot of the jokes and made characters more... they're a little more sinister. I've written something that looks like appreciate Toru's... oh, okay, I appreciate that Toru is less of a dingbat. She's a lot less like... beep, beep, beep. If I had a clip of the original series, I would insert that here, where she's such an airhead that it's almost unbelievable. Like, she's so helpless that you, as the viewer, felt just like, yeah, the Somas should really take her in. And they could now, but this time around, I'm like, just go talk to your friends, tell your grandfather what's going on. I don't know where that's going. This is only episode 1. So basically, to recap, episode 1 was a really solid new start for a new anime, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I like the darker tone. I was a giant fan of the original series, and I'm very much looking forward to this. I don't even know how long it's gonna be. I've done 0 research, but I'm really looking forward to the appearance of Haru, who is my favorite character of the manga series and the original series. So if you're a fan of Fruits Basket, please let me know which is your favorite character below, and let's talk about Fruits Basket together. Till next time, books to